Original teaching. Experience brings transformation. The great God enough. Behold the temple of the great God enough. Once upon a time in a far-off kingdom there lived many happy people who were ruled over by a wise council of elders. Here in their kingdom, peace truly reigned because the guiding principle of the land was, "Blessed be enough." Yes, here in this land of peace, joy, and happiness, the people produced only enough for their own personal needs. They traded with no one outside their kingdom and considered it a sin to own more than a hut, a few cows, sheep, and goats for milk and clothing, and an acre of land per family to grow food. All the land was owned by the great God enough, and no invader ever came to disrupt their peace and harmony because there was nothing there worth taking away. Now, one day a priest arrived by caravan from a distant land. Looking around, he noticed the motto of the land inscribed everywhere, "Blessed be enough." He studied the situation and noticed the potential of these people who were content with the bare necessities of life and chuckled to himself, saying, "Ah, ripe for the picking." The next day, the priest gained an audience with the council of elders and told them that he was a priest to whom God speaks, and that last night their God, enough, had spoken to him while he slept. Then the priest proceeded to tell the council that their God, enough, had commanded that a fine temple be built and worship established. The people were to produce far more than they had been doing, and a tenth of all lands and produce must be tithed to the temple. "And your God enough wants me to stay and be the priest of the temple because I am wise in all such matters," said the priest. The wise council of elders told the priest that they must sleep on the decision to be made, and for the priest to return the following day at noon for their answer. Now after the priest had left, the council of elders questioned one another concerning the priest's revelation, for the great God enough had never spoken to anyone. Then one of the elders reminded the council of an outsider who had been left for dead by a passing caravan many years ago. This man, whom they had nursed back to health, was an outcast court fool of a distant kingdom, and maybe he knew of such matters. So the fool was summoned before the council and asked, "Have you ever been to lands where God speaks to priests, and they have temples?" The fool nodded, and the council told him of the things which the priest had said. When the council finished, the old fool laughed and rolled around on the floor, holding his sides as tears ran down his cheeks. "Leave this matter to me," said the fool. "I have stayed here these many years, hoping somehow to repay you for saving my life and for your gentle, loving kindness. Tomorrow, when the priest comes back, tell him this." The next day at noon, the priest came before the council of elders with a very solemn smile. "How wonderful," said the council. "The great God enough has also spoken to our fool." The priest became very somber looking. "And you're right, the great God enough does desire many more acres to be farmed, and a fine temple to be built, and a priest." The priest beamed inside, trying to remain humble as he smiled. "But," said the council, "the God enough commands, under penalty, that the priest be made to till the fields himself, and also to draw, cut, and place the stones to build the temple." At this, the priest became very angry and started protesting violently about a great God of wrath and vengeance. But the council just summoned 4 of the people to drag the protesting priest away. "You'll begin immediately to carry stones from the valley to the hilltop and build the temple," commanded the council. "And so that you do not go against the commandment of the great God enough, you shall be locked up at night." Later that night, after his first day of hard labor, while locked up in his cell, the priest sobbed bitterly while eating his bean cake. He ached all over and was filled with black despair. All he wanted was to get away from this appalling labor. Toward morning, the priest was awakened by the sound of an approaching chuckle. A key turned in the lock and the door creaked open. As the sound of the chuckling died away, the priest rose to his feet to leave the jail for yet another day of hard labor. Stepping outside the door, he found no one, and quickly he fled the country. Today, the people of that peaceful land still show the travelers from passing caravans a pile of rough stones on top of the hill, and they say, "Behold, this is the temple of the great god Enough." After which they laughed uproariously as if they'd been told the greatest jest of the century.